One thing that I'm really curious to see, and I said this on stream a couple of days ago, I'm very curious to see how Benjamin Sesko works with these two guys here in Cunha and Mbeumo. And the reason why I'm saying that is I'm actually not against the idea of potentially seeing a front two like this and having Bryan Mbeumo or even Matheus Cunha, if it's interchangeable, dropping into the traditional 10 role. Because one thing that I think, regardless of if Man United sign a midfielder and they sign Carlos Believer, I think Manchester United will need support in that midfield. And I think between all three of them, maybe it's interchangeable, but that this is Manchester United starting 11, just with the assumption that this is Manchester United starting 11 with Benjamin Sesko. Now, obviously, we would expect Benjamin Sesko to play as the traditional kind of number 9. He'd be limited to kind of picking up these spaces here, more centrally, kind of the fact that Manchester United don't have those traditional 10s, they've got the wide 10s, but also these areas here against the opponent. Now, it's not necessarily the case, but it's one thing that I think that he can excel at. And another thing that I think he can excel at is coming off of different wide channels. So, for example, hypothetically speaking, Matheus Cunha could go into this area here with Patrick Dorgu darting up and down the wing. Benjamin Sesko could receive the ball from Patrick Dorgu in this instance here, and he can, again, like I said, similar to Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, he can drive with the ball as well, coming off of this channel. And also another thing that we know that Benjamin Sesko can do is also come into these areas here. Now, if Manchester United are up against the opponent, and this is just hypothetical, guys, if Manchester United are up against, say, an Arsenal, and this is an Arsenal prediction that I kind of have how they would line up against Manchester United with, I would anticipate that this would be someone like Zubimendi, this would be someone like Declan Rice, and one of the two 10s would have to drop in to these areas to support. Now, we already know, for example, Miles Lewis-Skelly, he will invert, he likes to invert, especially when Arsenal have possession, and I think that would allow Manchester United to also create overloads in the middle, because they've got players that can pick up the ball in these areas. Say Manchester United's midfield is on the back foot, and we see Bruno here, and we see Patrick Dorgu a lot more deeper, and we see Ahmad slightly deeper. I already know that someone like Benjamin Sesko could drop here and allow Matheus Cunha to make those runs into those passages of play. I already know that someone like Bryan Mbeumo could pick up the ball here, and Benjamin Sesko could drop here to create a makeshift front two.